But for those new to our sport, everyone gets one false start. So it's not like athletics where you have one false start and you're out. Everyone gets a false start, and that's probably because we are in, very unstable and shaky conditions. And sometimes you do just fall on your paddle if the wind hits you a wrong way, or your boat wobbles a little bit. So there is a little bit of leniency there, but everyone gets one false start, and then after that, whoever this got called on, if they go again, then they're DQ'd after that.
So they circled around and getting back into position. Interesting, of course, it used to be the K4 1000, and of course the Australians won the gold in 2012, and then it's become the K4 500 since, which has prompted a bit of a change in the personnel and the type of paddler you get in the K4. We can talk about that a little bit later, but we're underway now. We're clean start this time, and it looks pretty even across the board. As I mentioned, a bit of incentive to win this heat because you'll go straight through to the final, and you can see there Riza from Italy leading them out, and right next to him is the Chinese, who also have been really strong over the last few years in the K4, in both the men and the women at least. They've got a really strong program there. So the Chinese obviously looking strong, and down closest to the camera, as you might expect, the Hungarians also out to make their mark.
Yeah, and the Hungarians, obviously, they're a little bit out on their own there. They won't be able to see everyone over to the left-hand side of them. So they'll be racing their own race, which can be difficult in that last 50, 100 metres. But it looks like the Chinese maybe just in front there, followed by the Serbians there and the Italians as well. But the Hungarians racing their own race, like we said out here in lane 8, looking for that win. And first place goes straight through to the final. You can see the Hungos have just lifted their rating there. But I don't know if it's China or Hungary coming into the last 100.
It's going to be really, really close. It's hard on this angle, but I think it's the Hungarians. They look like they're powering home at the moment. So I think it's going to be Hungary who'll go straight through to the final. A good hometown result there. China second, and then it looks like it might have been Serbia who got up to take. They're pretty happy, at least. Look at this. People don't get too excited usually in a heat, but I think they're pretty happy to go straight through to the final, and also just to give the crowd here something to cheer about early. The Hungarians, I guess, by Hungarian standards, at least it was probably a disappointing Olympic Games for them. They didn't pick up any gold medals in Paris, and that's very unusual for Hungary, a country that's dominated the sport for so long. So a bit of a rebuilding phase, I guess, for the next. They did pick up a few minor medals, of course, but they didn't pick up a gold, which is very unusual at an Olympic Games. But they'd be pretty keen to make this next 4-year cycle count. So they're straight through to the final. Good result for the Hungarians.
Absolutely, and I wouldn't mind betting we see another Hungarian crew. Just trying to look through the start list now later on in this event, and maybe there's some bragging rights and some qualification for Worlds on the line. I'm not sure. That might be why. Yeah, there it is in Heat 3, and there might be some qualification rights on the line come that final. There might be a race within the race, but like you said, the Hungos had a subpar, I think, by their standard performance at the Olympics last year. I know in the K1000 they got silver and bronze, so that's very good, obviously. But they were silver.